Clope and Nedick Minster welcome you to this broadcast of the OHSAA Boys Basketball Tournament on NKTelco Sports. We are at the Palace at Coldwater High School where the Minster Wildcats will take on the Ridgemont Golden Gophers. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: Crown Equipment Corporation, First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Winners Quality Meats, Sydney Oglaze Audiology, Precision Strip, Wagner's IGA, and NKTelco. My name is Scott Fry. To my right, the illustrious Dave Kanapke, the ageless, timeless Dave Kanapke. Second game of the night for you, right?
Yeah, second game of the night. Should be a good matchup here tonight.
Absolutely should. So Minster and Ridgemont, they tussled last year, and it was kind of a blowout.
Yeah, it was at that last year. If you remember, the first round was at the home court.
That's
Minster,
right.
MAC champions last year, won by like 40, and they had everything. Of course, they had a very good team last year, and everything went right. A lot of the same players are back this year for Ridgemont. It has some very good scorers. Unfortunately, they're without one of their top scorers.
Yes. Last game, Ridgemont had a little bit of some kind of an altercation at the end of the game. A lot of guys on the floor. I think an official got knocked down. It was chaos. And in the middle of all of that, which I don't think he was a participant, but he was on the floor, Mason Stuck. They're probably one of their top 3 players.
Yes.
And as a result of being on the floor while that was going on, again, not saying he was involved, but as a result of being on the floor while that happened, he's having to sit this one out. So Coach Stuck is stuck, as they say, without one of his top starters.
Yeah, without his son not starting, the second leading scorer on the team. Mason Stuck averages right at 16. Career scoring of over 1,400 points. A great player.
Wow.
They still have Landon Newland, their leading scorer, right at just under 25 points a game. And then their third leading scorer, Grant Rappert, another senior, averages 11 points a game. A very senior-oriented team. But
absolutely,
they're missing one of their big guns, and their scoring really drops down after that. So we'll see how the Gophers respond to that.
Absolutely. So we're going to get the national anthem here, so we'll go ahead and take a break while we take care of that business. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about Minster and get into the starting lineups here on NKTelco Sports.
At this time, we ask that you all please stand and join in the singing with the playing of the national anthem.
Welcome back to the Palace in Coldwater, and we're getting ready for some Division IV sectional basketball action. We're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the starters. They're going to introduce the non-starters right now for each team. We'll go ahead and run down the starters.
First, we'll start with the visitors teams.
And in this case tonight, Minster is the visitor.
So our Sydney Oglaze Audiology starting lineups as they introduce the non-starters. Minster 5-17 on the season, number 10 seed.
Yep.
Their record's kind of misleading, though, in that it's not been a good year for them, but they play a lot of teams really tough.
Yep.
Just don't have a lot of scores, only average 41 points a game. So they can't afford to fall behind, which is really high-scoring Ridgemont team. At least when they have all their weapons, they average 63 points a game.
Absolutely. So it's going to be an interesting matchup tonight. Ridgemont without a star, if you will, and Minster in maybe a little bit of an off year compared to normal seasons.
Yeah, they're going to announce their doing the non-starters.
And here come our non-starters.
Ridgemont 14-8 on this season. First, they start with the Wildcats. 5-17 on the season, just one win in the MAC. They're number 10 seed here under Coach Michael McCleese.
This is his 6th year, right?
6th year.
Yep.
It's the first losing season the Wildcats have had after 6 straight winning seasons. So a lot of success and a bit of a rebuilding in our young team. Ridgemont 14-8 on the season. They were 4-3 in the NWCC. It tied them for 3rd place behind Perry and Upper Soda Valley. You see the Golden Gophers, the non-starters being.
That was, they were tied with Elgin in that conference.
Yeah, Elgin and also Hardin Northern all at 4-3 behind Perry at 7-0 and Upper Soda at 6-1. And Coach Nick Stuck has been at Ridgemont for a long time. He's built a nice program. 14th year.
14th year, yep. Met him before the game, and very, very friendly fellow. All right, let's get into our Sydney Auglaize Audiology starting lineups. This is first for the visiting Minster Wildcats. Number 2, senior Austin Wellman. Now on the Ridgemont side of the ledger, number 0, Landon Newland, a senior. And you're going to, like Dave said, there's going to be a lot of seniors in this Ridgemont lineup. Back to Minster, number 12, the freshman, Brogan Steffi. Over on the Ridgemont side, number 2, senior Lane Underwood. Back over to Minster, wearing jersey number 14, this is junior Devin Webker. For the Golden Gophers, wearing jersey number 4, also a senior, Grant Reppert. And back to Mike McClurg's team on the Minster Wildcats, number 20, senior Johnny Nixon.
Nixon has missed the last 2 games with a sprained ankle, so it's a big return.
Oh, this is great for Minster. Yeah, he's so big inside. Back on the Ridgemont side, number 23, Colt Whitaker, also a senior. And then the final starter for the Wildcats, wearing jersey number 22, freshman James Niemeyer. And the final starter, the only junior in the starting lineup, Wade Gamble, is going to take the spot of Mason Stuck, and he wears jersey number 24. All right, Dave, should we talk about some keys to the game here, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza?
Yeah, first we'll start with the Minster Wildcats. They need to handle the good players. Their top 3 scorers, one of them's out and stuck, but Landon Newland at 25 points a game and Reppert at 11. And then they need to make some shots. That's been a trouble for them. Need to make some free throws down the stretch, as Coach McCord anticipates this being a close game. Now the keys to the game for Ridgemont, they need to defend Nixon in the post, especially without Stuck there.
No small task, boy. He's tough in there.
Then they also handle all of Minster's physicality. And then scoring. Coach Stuck had the question, who's going to pick up the 16 points that Mason Stuck ordinarily does?
That's right. Gamble, 1 point per game. So a little bit of a difference between 16 and 1. Here's a long 3 to start things off. No good, but the Golden Gophers pull down that rebound. And another offensive rebound, that's 2, and then he loses the handle. So now we'll get a good look at Minster's half-court offense.
Yeah, their main threats is Steffi, averaging right at 12 points a game. Nixon right at 10. Devin Whipker at 6. So those are their main 3, and it's a big thing to have Nixon back.
That's special. When you've got a freshman averaging 12 points a game on a team that's not as good as they normally are, playing in the MAC, that's a special freshman. Brogan Steffi is going to be really fun to watch grow up over the years.
Yeah, the thing is, they usually play it pretty patient. Usually the offense goes through Nixon underneath and he kicks it out. Steffi Whipker is also a very good 3-point shooter. They usually can't fall behind because they're not an explosive team. If they fall behind by 10, it's going to be hard for them to come back.
Wellman with the long ball, and he hits from the corner.
Wellman, not a big scorer. He's more the defensive stopper on the team. So any offense you get from the senior Wellman is a bonus for Coach McClure.
So 3 points now for Wellman. 3-0 Minster on the First National Bank scoreboard as they go into a tight man-on-man defense. With the ball here is Grant Reppert. And Steve Trout, you see him calling our first action of the night from the foul perspective, and that's going to go against James Niemeyer.
Steve Trout, longtime official from New Knoxville, Ohio. Look at the matchup here. Talked about Wellman being the stopper. He's going to be against Newland. He takes the highest scorer no matter how tall they are, and he's giving up a couple inches to Newland again, who averages close to 25 points a game.
Well, and the magic of Newland is he also pulls down almost 9 boards a game. Nice entry pass inside. That is Colt Whitaker. So his first tally of the game, and it's a 3-2 game as Minster now. And you can see they want to run a nice controlled, slow tempo, their game. Nice kick out to the outside to Wellman, rattles in and out, no good. Nixon tips it, now to Steffi up top. Nice bucket, Brogan. Steffi tallies 6-2 Minster on the First National Bank scoreboard.
Big offensive rebound was key there, and got Steffi an open look for the 3.
Well, Nixon just did a nice job of tipping that away. Now an off-balance shot by Newland. Not a clean look at all. And Minster down with it. They'll come the other way. Here's Steffi now, tries a little dribble penetration. They swing it around Wellman. Now they're going to look to get Nixon set up inside.
Yeah, he's guarded by number 23, Whitaker. There's a 3 by Steffi.
Look at that. Nixon just goes up, gets a rebound. He'll have to kick it out as you see the defense collapse. Steffi no good off the back of the iron. This time Whitaker down with it for the Golden Gophers. So nice job that time by Ridgemont of collapsing on Nixon and not letting him get loose and do what he does. Love the shoes here on the Gophers.
Yeah,
a lot of different colors, all very bright. Whitaker now stopped by Nixon.
Whitaker 6'5" against Nixon is 6'4". There's some big boys underneath.
Yeah, there are a lot of thunder down under, as they say. And Newland, with his first bucket of the night, takes a drive down the left side and is 6'4" on the First National Bank. I think first scoreboard.
The all-time leading scorer at Ridgemont, Landon Newland, almost 1,900 points. That's a
Holy
career.
Cow. That's your average solid high school basketball scorer. That's 3 careers as Steffi tallies another 3. So 6 points are early going here for Minster for the freshman.
Wildcats hitting their 3s there between 2 3s by Steffi and 1 for Wellman.
Well, and you said points are going to come in a premium for Minster, so this is a good start as you see Reppert miss on his little jumper. And so Minster back down with it with a 5-point lead in the early going. And again, Dave, you see how quickly Ridgemont works at their end of the floor. And down here at Minster's end, they're going to be patient, look for good shots, and try to score every trip down.
Yeah.
Now they flip it around. Wellman's inside.
They usually try to set a screen or a double screen for Steffi on the outside. And here's Wellman, another 3.
Not afraid to shoot.
Not usually. He doesn't shoot that many times. Minster's.
Now Newland, little spinner up through the lane, off the window, and down. Nice little spin move there for Landon Newland. And he's got 4 on the contest.
Minster has shot 8 times, all 3 so far. They've been 3 of 8, though. Newland will try, or they'll try another one there by Wellman.
They're going to battle for it, and Ridgemont says Stephen Trout will get the ball here underneath. 9-6 with 3:44 to go here in the first. Tuesday night, last night, St. Henry was down here at the Palace, and they took down the Ada Bulldogs. And so St. Henry advances, and they will play on Friday night against, let's see, my seedings here. The number 1 seed in Bremen Cardinals, Corey Stevens' team, one of the co-champions of the MAC this year with Versailles and Marion Local, which you just saw Marion take down New Knoxville in the matinee today.
And that will be the second game on. They'll play the winner of that game. We will be covering those games on NKTelco Sports on Friday night here at the Palace.
So 9-6 as Nixon comes all the way up top. Now a little handoff. That's James Niemeyer, number 22. Steffi from long, down with a great rebound is Wellman. And we're going to get a hold. They got Steffi on the arm.
Good offensive rebound there by Wellman. Only 6 foot, but he jumped among the trees there and
sure did.
Kept the possession going.
And that foul is on Grant Reppert. That's his first. And that's the first team foul for Ridgemont. Easy inbound. Wellman just gave that to him. Maybe they're thinking, well, they can't hit from outside, so we'll just let them do it.
Wellman's only hit 5 threes on the season, and he's only shot about 26 of them, but he's pulling the trigger tonight. He's hit 2 tonight.
I was going to say, I think he's like 50%. He's 2 of 4. And a quick foul here.
Against Ridgemont.
Yeah. And that's Reppert. So 2 quick fouls for Grant Reppert. Not a great look there if you're Coach Nick Stuck. He's their number 3 scorer on the year, a little over 11 points per game.
And you're already missing one of the trio, the terrific trio, if you will.
You don't want to get one of the 2 that's remaining into any kind of foul trouble.
Reppert leaves with 2 fouls.
So interesting, they've got Nixon up top now. Around the horn, this is Wellman on the left wing. Now he's going to try to get an entry into Nixon. I was going to say Whitaker did a nice job, or excuse me, McKinley, Weston McKinley, number 35, did a nice job of poking that away, but he kind of didn't because he committed a foul in the process. So 3 team fouls now against the Gophers. Here's Nixon out at the elbow, back to Steffi. Now a little high-low game as they get it into Nixon.
I think they called an illegal screen on that play.
And they did, and that'll go on Steffi. That's his first, team's second for the Wildcats.
So right now with Ridgemont without Stuck and Reppert on the bench with 2, it's going to be a lot of Landon Newland.
Boy, picking up your dribble as you're straddling the timeline, that's dangerous business. Minster with a little tip and a turnover as Nixon ends up with it. I think Wellman tipped that away. So Minster taking advantage of a little disarray on the part of the Golden Gophers, and they lead, doubling up Ridgemont 12-6.
Minster has only shot 3-pointers so far, 11 of them, but when you hit 4 of 11, do the math, it gets you 12 points. That's a pretty good percentage. That's
a good way to go. And I'll tell you, Ridgemont is sticking to those keys. They're making it tough inside. They're not letting Nixon get around and forcing those outside shots, which on paper is the right strategy given Minster's trouble scoring. But Minster's come out shooting the ball pretty well, and then they collapse on Newland. And they're going to go the other way on 2 straight trips. They get 2 straight turnovers on defense.
Steffi shot the first 2 before. There's a corner 3 by Webker.
A little short, Devin Webker, the junior.
He actually has the highest percentage of all the offensive players for the Wildcats. We will have a timeout.
Looks like it was called on the floor. The coach seemed a little surprised, and it is a 30-second timeout. We'll go ahead and take it here. Thanks to Precision Strip for sponsoring our timeouts, not only tonight, but every game of the year. So great start here for Coach McClurg as you see a look at the Ridgemont and then the Minster benches as they talk things over.
And Coach McClurg, who we appreciate, he kind of passed on some comments of what he thought. He felt like they could score off the Ridgemont team. He thought there was a very good offensive team, but he thought against their defense they should score. And obviously the strategy was to try to shoot some threes. The Steffi shooting threes isn't a surprise, but Austin Wellman's been a big part, hit 2 threes already.
That's huge.
Yeah, when you get your defensive specialists to give you a couple
and
points.
And play above your averages, man, that's huge.
Into the game for the Wildcats, number 4, Noah Peepery, junior exchange student. He missed about a month in January, sprained his MCL, but athletic and a good defender as well.
Now we're going to get a charge. Look at Johnny Nixon's fired up, man. He's happy to be back in the, as they say, back in black, as he's coming off of an injury as well. An ankle, you said?
Yeah, he sprained an ankle late, and they draw the foul on Newland. Get a look here. Peepery does a nice job of defending him, and then he was set the screen, and Nixon was waiting there, and Newland a little too fast.
Yep, absolutely. So great play there for Minster. And that gets Newland a foul. Reppert also with a foul. Steffi a little spinner at the foul line. That ball did everything but go through the net. It was halfway down the cylinder before it came back out.
About the rotation there is that you're going to double team Newland about wherever they go. It's look like the strategy is.
We'll skip pass across. Now kick out to Underwood. Nothing but net right there. So Lane Underwood now on the board with 3, and it's 12-9 on the First National Bank scoreboard. Niemeyer dishes to Peepery, kicks out to Steffi. Man, he pounds another 3, so 15-9. 5 threes made here for the Wildcats as the first quarter gets under 30 seconds. And Ridgemont struggling to score here. You see Minster doubling Newland whenever he has the ball.
Yeah, wherever he gets it, they're going to be right on him. He gets a little opening here.
Nice runner up the baseline. Now we're going to get a little foul as he goes to the rack, and we're going to end the quarter on some free throws, I think. This is Scott Steinecker. He calls the foul on number 14, Devin Webker. You see how quick Newland is off the dribble, and that's really, you see those fouls, it's usually because the defender's out of position playing from behind.
Yeah, somebody who scores almost 1,900 points, they're a scorer.
Yeah.
And they're going to take the ball to the hoop. And if you're the coach, you want him to do that. Right now, Reppert on the bench and Stook out. He's going to be the one main scoring. So he hits the first free throw.
As a team, Ridgemont is 69% from the stripe. That's not a bad average in high school.
Anything you get close to 70 is good at any level.
Absolutely. Xavier Stuck now, the freshman, number 15, comes in for Coach Stuck. I'm going to guess maybe that's another son in the program.
Yep. Yes, it is. His younger brother, senior Mason
Wellman,
Stuck.
lucky he didn't get tagged right there on the reach. Underwood had the wrong number 2 there. And this is Gamble. And he tries to hit at the buzzer. No can do. So we finished 1 here at the Palace in Coldwater. Your score, the Minster Wildcats 15. The Ridgemont Golden Gophers 11. It's Division 4 sectional boys basketball here on NKTelco Sports.
Lift your career to new heights with Crown, an innovative global leader in the material handling industry with over a 75-year history of growth and success. We're seeking career-minded candidates for a wide variety of entry-level and skilled positions in our new Bremen, New Knoxville, Salina, Minster, and other U.S. locations. Visit crown.jobs to apply or find us on social media by searching Careers at Crown.
Clopay Corporation, America's favorite garage door, is now hiring for all manufacturing and over-the-road Class A CDL driving positions. Clopay is the largest residential garage door manufacturer in North America, and we are continuing to grow. Join our team and work in a safe, clean, modern environment. Clopay offers a great benefits package as an equal opportunity employer and a drug-free work environment. Imagine the possibilities when you open the door to your career at clopay.com/careers.
Welcome back to the Palace, coming out of that precision strip. That wasn't a precision strip timeout. That was a quarter break. Wake up, Scott. Here we go. 15-11 on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Minster with a 4-point lead. At one point, it was a 6-point lead.
The story of that quarter was a 3-point shooting, 5 of 13.
Sure was. That's the first bucket in the paint. That's Zach Fortman scoring for Coach McClurg.
Senior
his
off
first
the bench.
minutes. Yeah,
Good guy.
first minutes. Stuck misses. Rebound goes out to Minster. Minster been rebounding very well at the Ridgemont end of the floor. This is James Niemeyer. He comes up short. And now we'll go the other way. And this is not what Coach McClurg wants to see, is this back and forth run game, because I think this will favor Ridgemont, the way they move the ball and like to shoot and slash to the bucket.
Right now they do not have Landon Newland out, so they have not really any real big scores in the game right now, except for Reppert, who just shot.
And his shot comes up short. He's got 2 fouls, so he'll have to play smart here the rest of the first half, as Steffi off the dribble, and he gets some body down there underneath. And that's Connor excuse me, I keep looking at the wrong roster. That's Wade Gamble on the foul for Ridgemont. That's his first, team 5th.
First quarter stats, Minster 5 of 16, all from the 3-point line. They made him. Ridgemont 4 of 9. I think a little bit of a surprise that Minster got 16 shots off Ridgemont. Only got 9 shots off if you looked at the offensive style between the two teams.
Yeah, altogether different. You could see it right out of the gate. Minster wanting to run a much slower, more deliberate, more patient offense. And this ball will go Ridgemont's way. I was taking a look here, Dave, the all-conference, all-MAC players this year. Minster's got 2 second-teamers with Johnny Nixon and Brogan Steffi, so congratulate those 2 boys.
Yeah, Nixon, the second year in a row he's been in the second team, and Newland turns around and hits the jumper. And also Austin Wellman, honorable mention.
Yeah, so congratulations to those guys. And then Niemeyer goes to the hole but travels.
Only 2 turnovers on Minster so far, 6 of them for Ridgemont, as Devin Webker will return back in the lineup, replacing James Niemeyer.
So Reppert will bring the ball up. See those neon teal shoes? Pretty cool. Now Newland with it. As he spins around, man, he is just a slippery customer, but Minster doubling him. Nothing's going to come easy for Newland tonight. This is Webker with it. He's going to give an entry pass to Nixon. Nixon's going to work on Whitaker. Whitaker pinches him onto the baseline. Nice job there. That's a double dribble. Yeah, boy. It's really cool when that works, except the part where you put it down and pick it up and put it back down again.
Yeah, it didn't get away with that one. That was a little bit too obvious.
That's one way to get a defender out of position, I suppose, right? So Newland now.
As well as Minster has played, Ridgemont's right in this as they hit the 3, and they're now within 1.
That's a big 3. Lane Underwood averages 2.5 points a game. He's got 6 here, so maybe he's going to be the guy to pick up some of Mason Stuck's points.
I wonder at some point if they're going to try to work the ball more into Nixon as Whitaker drives to the hoop and draws a foul. The three-point shooting has been good to Minster, but I always feel for any team, you can't shoot the threes all game long.
Right.
Usually it'll come and go streak.
Yeah. Especially in high school.
Yeah, see if they try to balance it out underneath, as Nixon's the main threat here. But Devin Whitaker's had a nice junior season. Hits the first of 2 free throws.
That foul was on the senior Colton Whitaker, his first. 16 fouls now against the Golden Gophers. And Minster's going to send Fortman back to the bench and sub in James Niemeyer.
Niemeyer has started most of the games this year as a freshman.
That's nice. You got 2 freshmen starting. That's going to pay big dividends, keep them healthy. They get into the next few years. Here's Newland with a beautiful fadeaway.
Well, he's got a sweet shot already up to 10 points.
Yeah, he does. He's first guy to hit double digits. Leading Minster is Brogan Steffi, as you see with the ball, number 12. He's got 9. 18-18. We're all tied up here on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. There's your screen. Little pick and roll for Nixon. Nice job of rotating over to him. Great ball movement. Sets up Niemeyer wide open in the corner. And the ball got there well ahead of the defense, and Niemeyer makes him pay.
Good pass. I think it was Whitaker passed up his shot to give a more open shot to Niemeyer. Yep. Niemeyer did a nice job of setting his shot, setting his feet.
Yep.
Good form for the three-pointer.
Absolutely. Underwood with it. Now he kicks to Newland. Dribble penetration, so tough to stop. He's a good-sized kid, too, and he's big and quick off the dribble.
In and out there by Whitaker.
Minster down quickly. Steffi's going to take the college 3 and bury it. So credit him with 4 3-pointers now, as he's got 12. And that's going to force another timeout here by the Golden Gophers. This is their second one of the half on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. As you see there on our graphic, Minster by 6 again, 24-18.
Yeah, Ridgemont had come back, and as well as Minster's playing, I thought, okay, here's Ridgemont's run. But back-to-back possessions result in a made three-pointer, first by Niemeyer and then by Steffi, as the threes continue to rain down. 7 3-pointers on the night for Minster. They've had 94 3-pointers on the season, so 22 game schedule. That's like at 4, 5, almost 5, 4.5, and they're already at 7, and we're not even halfway through the second quarter.
Absolutely. So again, 24-18, Minster presently enjoying a 6-0 run, as Dave mentioned, off of 2 threes. Leading scorer for everybody, leading all scorers, Brogan Steffi, matching his jersey number 12 with 12 points. Our officials tonight, as we mentioned, Steve Trout, also Scott Steinecker, and Tony Rogers. So very veteran officiating crew taking care of business tonight, keeping everybody.
You get a lot of veteran officials when you get tournament time.
That's right.
A lot of given to seniority, who's ever considered the best officials earn the spot down the tournament trail.
Newland working him as Wellman on defense, doing a pretty good job, but he's just so quick. Now a pass down low as Newland comes up the baseline. Minster disrupts that. Now Underwood. No, that's Reppert. Sorry, number 4 is Reppert, and he misses.
That's going to be an over-the-back call, I believe, on Xavier Stuck. His first there.
Good eye.
Reppert kind of got away from he almost threw it away, and then he kind of forced the shot there. Probably wasn't ill-advised, kind of a little bit ill-advised,
Yep.
And we'll see if Minster will, that'll be the 7th team foul already.
So that should put us in the bonus, yeah.
And Devin Whitaker will go to the line.
Minster definitely the more patient team on offense. They're waiting for open shots. They're not forcing the ball down inside. Nixon has been kind of taken away right now, so he's rebounding and drawing the defense, which has left those threes open, and they've made him pay.
Whitaker hits the first. He's the leading free throw shooter on the team at 71%, a team that shoots not real great from the free throw line, 57 as a team. So he's been the bright spot from the line. And
nice. And you mentioned earlier Minster coming off of 6 straight winning seasons. And our statistician of the bunch here for NKTelco Sports, Mr. Dave Kanapke, gave us some interesting history. Marion Local currently riding a 6-season streak of winning seasons, as you see there, a long 3 missed, Webker down with it. The next closest teams are Fort Recovery and New Bremen, each with 3 winning seasons in a row. And Minster just had 6. This was obviously not a winning campaign for Coach McClurg this year.
Yeah, and you look at the girls' side, the Minster girls, unbelievable. 16 straight winning seasons is like 27 of 28. Shot goes off there by Steffi.
They've got, what, 4 titles in there somewhere with Coach Wiss?
I think something under the radar. New Bremen girls have had 8 straight winning seasons.
Yeah, it goes Minster, New Bremen with 8, then Marion Local with 4.
Yeah.
It's been a very consistent program, and that kept up this year. You know, they had a coaching change in New Bremen with Coach Timmerman coming in, and we're going to get a foul called against Niemeyer. That'll be his second.
Number 10, Logan Cooney. Junior has played mostly JV, has got some more playing time on varsity as the season's gone on.
Nice long ball there.
Boy, Newland, he really elevates on his jumper.
Sure does.
I mean, he'd be tough to block for anybody, let alone he's got 3 inches on Wellman. You always want to shoot at the top of your jump shot, and he definitely does, and a sweet shot at that.
And that was a 2. It was a long 2, so that gives Newland a dozen as they double team Webker. You can see Newland quick on defense, almost there to get a turnover. Now Steffi at the elbow. He's going to bring it back out, and Minster will reset their offense.
Yeah, Steffi's not only the leading scorer, he's also the point guard on this team. Probably not his long-term position. It's more of a scorer, but definitely the best ball handler on the team as well.
And also the quarterback on the varsity football team. Excellent athlete all the way around. Had a nice freshman campaign at quarterback. Starting quarterback in the MAC as a freshman and having success, that is impressive. You see Newland with it now. Minster collapses on him, back to Stuck. Newland, he's going to try Wellman. Wellman does a nice job of forcing him out. Little skip pass. Nice little fake there. They have to kick to Newland at the foul line. Here comes Reppert now for 3. Count that one. So Reppert finally tallies 26-23 now on the scoreboard, First National Bank scoreboard.
His first 3 points of the night. I don't think any lead's going to be safe with this Ridgemont team. They can put some points. They can fill up the hoop, if you will.
Yeah, they score in buckets. Very streaky. Webker from the corner, the deep corner.
Nice
29-23 now. Sorry, go ahead, Dave.
Nice kick out there by Steph, who found Webker for the 8th made 3 for the Wildcats.
Short corner, that falls short, and down with it is Devin Webker. So again, 29-23, 1:23 to go on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Now we get a pass into Nixon, and then he immediately is fouled. So they have stopped Nixon, but 2 times now he's had the ball, and 2 times he's going to go to the free throw line. And that's the second foul on McKinley.
6'4" seniors had a nice senior campaign. 9.7 points a game, right at 9 rebounds a game, which is 3rd in the MAC. Also 3rd in the MAC in shot blocks. Also leads the team in assists, which is unusual for a big guy.
For a big, yeah. Well, last year he was like scoring forward to complement his brother.
Yep.
And he, he is so creative when he gets to work as an offensive player, and he doesn't have that now. And Webker buries another 3 from way out. And all of a sudden, Minster now with a 10-point lead with 1:07 to go on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard.
It goes out of bounds as they miss a shot. They, at Minster High School, when they have a home game, they give out tickets. And the contest is called Raining Threes. And I think it's like the first 5 threes, they draw a ticket and you can win it. It's not in Minster, but here at the Palace, it's Raining Threes for the Wildcats.
It is a torrential downpour of threes. As we are under a minute to go, 33-23 on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. And Minster doing a great job on the defensive glass cleaning. Very, very few second shot attempts on offense for Ridgemont, as you see Newland up there defending. This is Wellman with it. And they're going to get Colton Bailey, who's getting his first time on the floor, the freshman, number 11. That'll be his first foul, team 9th, so that'll send Wellman.
It's unusual there. It looked like they wanted to foul Wellman there, although, Wellman's not a big scorer there, but I guess the idea is like, hey, you might miss it. We can go back down and score.
Right, get the clock stopped, and let's go get a good set. And with 38.3, Ridgemont may be thinking, let's get 2 possessions, because they'll go down and try and put one up quickly and get another stop, because they play at a whole different pace.
Wellman already with a season high of 7.
Boy, that's what you like to see. You get your defense scoring points. Misses the back half of that pair of free throws, and here comes Reppert now. He'll be defended by Webker. We'll see how patient they are, if they're going to go in quickly. Underwood now kicks it over. That one's off long, Bailey, and now here comes Minster down with it, Wellman. 22 to go, 34-23, 11-point lead. Webker, he feeds Fortman, and Fortman goes up for his second tally.
36-23 play there by Webker as he gave it up to a wide open senior.
Yep, very good, very good. So Reppert with it now, Newland, and Minster just playing tough defense. That's an unfortunate foul at the end of the half by Webker. Newland really didn't have anything to do there, and Webker basically burned a foul. And that will be the 15th foul, so it's not, at least won't send Newland to the line.
More importantly, that's the second foul on Webker, so not something you want with 3.7 seconds to go before half.
Because Newland had no real shot. Now a contested shot is wide, and that's going to do it for the first half. So the First National Bank Think First scoreboard tells the story, Dave. The Minster Wildcats 36 and the Ridgemont Golden Gophers 23. When we come back, we'll pick up the Wagner's IGA Stats and Recap, and then the second half, high school boys basketball Division IV sectional from Coldwater here on NKTelco Sports.
Are you looking for a new career with amazing growth potential? NKTelco Press and Automation is hiring for many positions right now. NKTelco is a global company that is growing with its sights on being a billion-dollar company. Machinists, service technicians, human resource personnel, IT specialists, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, and many more. The opportunities abound at NKTelco Press and Automation. Go to minsterjobs.com now to get started on your new career with NKTelco.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Allglaze and Sydney Audiology are committed to providing the most advanced and affordable hearing care solutions.
Did you know that more and more insurances are offering coverage for hearing aids and that we are the most comprehensive provider in the area?
Because we want to serve all in our community, we partner with agencies such as Medicaid, OOD, Sertoma, and most recently the VA, helping our veterans find local solutions to their problems.
Don't leave unused benefits on the table this year. Call us today to see if you qualify.
Welcome back to the Palace at Coldwater High School, where the Minster Wildcats with a 13-point advantage over the Ridgemont Golden Gophers. 36-23 you see there on the graphic. Let's go ahead and run through the Wagner's IGA Stats and Recap. And with that, my friend Dave Kanapke.
Thanks, Scott. Looking at the numbers here for Minster, 11 of 25 field goal, but the big number on all these numbers, 9 of 20 on their threes. They've been hitting big, has been big. That's a season high already for them. One game they had 8, but they've never had 9, already 9.5. Ridgemont, 8 of 22, 3 of 9, not bad shooting. Free throws, Minster got to the line a little bit more, 5 of 8 compared to 2 of 2. Rebounding, slight edge, 13 to 10 to the Wildcats. Turnovers, Ridgemont has turned it over twice as much. as the Wildcats. Looking at individual scoring for Ridgemont, Landon Newland, definitely a scorer of 12 points already. Lane Underwood with 3. Grant Reppert just with 3 points, battled some foul trouble. Colt Whitaker with 2. The Wildcats they've already had 6 different players score level with Brogan Steffi, who's hit 4 threes for 12. Austin Wellman, a bit of surprise, with 7. Devin Webker with 9. Zach Fortman with 4. James Niemeyer with 1. James Niemeyer 3. Johnny Nixon with 1. So, the strategy obviously for Coach McClure was to shoot the threes, and they buried it.
That has been going well, to say the least.
Yeah, so see if they can continue that in the second half.
I'm going to be curious to see if Ridgemont defends them a little differently. The challenge is if you try to come out and meet the ball, what's that going to do for Nixon in the middle? Is that going to free him up? And the last thing you want to do is let that guy get going. Long ball here for Ridgemont. Air ball all the way. Down with it is Johnny Nixon, and they're going to push the ball up the floor. Wide open Niemeyer, and he misses the bunny. And then gets the rebound. And Tony Rogers is going to call a stop to that action. And Ridgemont, a quick foul. Lane Underwood, his first.
Niemeyer lucky to get that. Oh, check that. That foul's on Wellman for Minster.
Oh, I thought they called it on. My apologies. So
Niemeyer
Minster's first.
Yeah, Niemeyer just rushed it a little bit.
So Ridgemont now with it. This is Gamble, number 24. Entry pass to Whitaker. Kicks back out to Reppert. At the volleyball baseline, no good, deep off the iron. Meanwhile, Ridgemont not shooting the ball well. Minster not giving them much room to work. So Coach McClure wanted those Wildcats to work hard on defense and not let their scorers do their thing. And so far, Newland's hung 12, but he averages almost 25.
And the beat goes on as Webker hits a tray. He's in double figures with 12.
12 for Webker. So 39-23. On the First National Bank scoreboard is Minster first to score here in the second half. Newland with it now. He's going to work on Wellman. You'll see Nixon slide over to double him. Now Gamble drive up the right side, up and in, as Webker does a nice job of not getting that third foul. You're up by, 16. Maybe it's okay to let that 2 go in at the expense of not picking up your third foul.
Yeah, nice drive by Gamble, yeah. Don't want to get a foul in this situation. You're Webker. Minster all year has had a trouble. They seem like at a critical point they'll get a scoring drought, like 3-4 minutes and not score.
Okay.
And they're not a big offensive team usually, and that usually hurts them. But Austin Wellman is in double figures as he hits his third tray.
And he's on the floor, as you mentioned in the first half. His primary responsibility is defense, rebounding. And so when you can get that kind of contribution from someone who doesn't normally score a lot, man, that's a difference maker. Gamble skip pass across to Underwood. Here's Newland with it. Inside to Whitaker. He's going to give a little jumper over the top of Nixon. And again, the shooting woes for the Golden Gophers continue into the second half as Steffi goes and gets hacked going down the right side, and so he will go to the line.
Aggressive move by Steffi. Saw a little bit of a opening. Definitely has the scoring gene, if you will, in that he can create shots. He can look for his shots. As you see him drive to the hoop there on our winner's meets replay.
And that is a big foul because Grant Reppert picked up his third, and so I'm sure Coach Stuck is going to pull him, and he is. Out come Reppert and Whitaker, and in comes Xavier Stuck, number 15, the freshman, and Weston McKinley. And McKinley is in with 2 fouls. He's been guarding Nixon, and he picked up a couple fouls down there on defense. So tough sledding here as Minster with an 18-point margin, 40, and there you're going to get a walk or a foul. Trout says we got contact. That'll be on Wellman.
It's a second foul on Austin Wellman.
But it's a smart foul. It's back at the elbow, non-shooting. It's on the floor. So that doesn't send Ridgemont to the stripe to score with no time running. McKinley with the entry pass. And he's going to get some body from Nixon. And that'll be Johnny Nixon's first.
You know, I heard a lot about the 3 big scorers for Ridgemont, and when the other kids get a chance to shoot, they have great form. They can score. They just probably haven't had to. Right. It's the difference between not being able to shoot and don't have to shoot, and they look like they can all shoot, as I think Coach Stuck runs a very offensive program. And
Yep.
But right there, 2 missed free throws that they can't afford.
McKinley, nice job getting that rebound, and ends up, he tips it off of Niemeyer. And so a big possession here, down 18, you've got to come away. They couldn't score on the drive, they missed both free throws. And so Ridgemont needs to get something going on offense here. 5:15 to go in the third, down by 18. Underwood with it, now an entry pass to Newland. He goes up, and Wellman's going to pick up his third, so that's a big foul for Minster. Looks like maybe Peepery is going to come to the table.
Yeah, and he's a little bit bigger, very athletic player. It's good that he came back from his injury okay, because it's another defensive guy that Coach McClurg can bring in as Newland misses the first one.
Look at the rotation on the ball when Newland shoots. It's got a kind of a funky spin.
It's unusual for somebody who scored as much as he has, and
also not square to the rim. There's the second one in. 13 points now for Newland. And Wellman sits down with 3 fouls, so we can probably expect him to be seated for a little while anyway. You want to keep that hand hot, but the defense late is probably going to be important. Kicker from the corner, deep in the corner, as the threes continue to pour from the skies.
That's 12 now. I'm going to have to get the Minster program out to see what their team record is. I think it's around 16 or 17.
And a slide ruler to measure all of this.
Yeah,
so Minster up by 20.
It's getting big numbers. I'm running out of fingers and toes.
And you see McKinley, no good, and then he's going to turn around and get called for the foul as Niemeyer tries to pull down that rebound, and that'll be McKinley's third. And Ridgemont really struggling here in the third period. 4.5 to go, 46-26, Minster with a commanding lead, thanks mostly to some excellent defense, a lot of threes, and then Ridgemont struggling a little bit. But Ridgemont has had very, very few open looks, so credit the Minster defense with some of the shooting challenges for the Gophers.
Team record for Minster is 16 back in 2019. I knew it was pretty recent against Greenon, a team that just only played like 2 years.
And what do they have now?
12.
Peepery gets set up inside. Nice job. Nixon found Peepery inside, and it's 48-26, 22-point margin now as we get under 4 to go in the third. Stuck gets his defender off his feet, goes to the rack, nothing but a nice follow there. And that is McKinley, and that's his first field goal, his first points of the night. His lead is back to 20.
So, but right now, I'm sure Coach McClurg cared less about the team record on threes. He's cared about one thing:
foot on the gas.
Scoreboard, up by 20.
The winner of this will see Marion Local. As Peepery makes another move, a lot of contact, no call, either way. And then you see Newland drop the shoulder, and he gets Niemeyer.
You know, it's a 7-10 matchup, and usually when I pick my NCAA pool, I like to do the number 10 upset. So this would have worked here.
There you go.
I need to start working on my NCAA pool about now to get any look at it. Usually my wife does better. She usually goes by uniform color. It's better than what my picks are, so who am I to say?
Absolutely. Underwood very short. Nice rebound there in the middle by McKinley, and now they're going to get Fortman on the reach. And so McKinley draws a foul. This is Fortman's first foul. That is the 6th team foul. So Minster giving away fouls like they're free tickets to the circus.
Yeah, and what happens there, if they get to the foul line, Ridgemont can score with the clock stopped.
Right.
Ridgemont only 2 of 9 on their shooting here in the second half.
And a very awkward three, no good. Down with it is Nixon. So the shooting woes continue. That wasn't a very good look. Webker manages to keep it in. Also of note, Fortman came in to sit Niemeyer, who picked up his 3rd personal. So Niemeyer and Wellman both with 3 for Minster.
Steffi drawing a lot of attention. I'm sure Steffi's, along with the rest of the team, is glad that Johnny Nixon is back, because in the 2 games he was out, Steffi got a lot of attention because he was the chief scoring threat. Even though Nixon's only scored a point, he's still drawing the defenders underneath as a threat there. And
that's a big part of why those threes are open. And that's the strategy, because Minster normally doesn't shoot. And boy, there's a big foul. Weston McKinley. West picks up his 4th. So he's going to have to sit, and this will bring Colt Whitaker in. And that's tough. That is tough sledding right there. But it's a nice luxury when you can bring out one big and actually up your scoring chances with Whitaker. Scores almost 4 a game to 2.5 for McKinley.
Yeah, Colton Whitaker, senior. Coach Stoke mentioned about that. He really hit the weight room in the offseason, and you can tell he's a big boy, number 23.
Yep, he's got a big job there as he's working on Johnny Nixon. Nixon always dangerous with the ball, can really score.
Lost his balance there as he tried to do a pivot step. Only the 4th turnover on Minster all night long.
That is clean basketball.
Yeah, that's about as good as you can do. As Coach McClurg will take the precision strip timeout.
We'll go ahead and keep it right here. Talk a little bit about this. So earlier tonight, Marion Local took down New Knoxville. That was a first round, if you will, the first sectional tournament game for both schools. Tuesday night, St. Henry beat Ada right here at the Palace. And so St. Henry will play against the #1 seed New Bremen Cardinal MAC champs, and Marion Local MAC champion will take on the winner of this one. And if that holds true, it'll be an all MAC MAC second round. Sectional.
Yeah, here at Coldwater. A few years back, before they seeded it by district, the sectional went through Coldwater, and all the MAC teams came here, and it was a bear to get out of this sectional. You had to play your MAC teams again, and there's a lot of upsets through the years, but since they split it out into the seeding by district, teams can go either side of it. The only MAC teams that are in the St. Mary's side, or the other part of it, is Parkway and Fort Recovery play each other. The rest of the MAC teams are all in the upper part, are in this sectional Coldwater. You know, most times teams will go to the best matchup. Sometimes a team will just go with what's closer. If maybe it hasn't been a good year and don't want to, but really, there's not a lot of difference for a lot of MAC teams. You go to St. Mary's or Coldwater, for a lot of them, and so.
Going to be interesting to watch. Down in the bottom half, Spencerville, they'll play Friday night. They're the 2 seed. They're going to play the winner of Upper Scioto Valley, Waynesfield, Goshen. Perry Temple Christian and Fort Recovery Parkway both played tonight. The winners there will take on each other, and it's 18 again for Minster.
Wade Gamble with a follow there for the Gophers.
And Fortman getting into the action with the threes now. He's got 7 as he buries a long ball.
For a big guy, he has a pretty good range. He can hit the 3. So we're now up to 13 for the Wildcats.
Ruppert tries to find Newland cutting, and nice job of getting a hand in there is Peepery. And you said he's an exchange student?
Exchange student from Finland. His aunt, Retta Peepery, which she was called as Retta Papari back then, she was on the state championship team in 1998.
Oh, wow.
Great point guard. Ended up playing college basketball at Xavier.
That is really cool. So Ridgemont throws it away. They try to get an entry pass into Colton Whitaker, number 23, and it went off of his extended fingertips there. So 51-30, Minster with a big lead, and they're just going to play slow ball now as Brogan Steffi makes me look silly with a dribble penetration move down the left side, dishes to Nixon, and Nixon will go to the line as I think he's fouled by number 11, Colton Bailey, for his second.
Living in Minster, I've been to a lot of Minster games, and the difference on their offense is Nixon hits the first. Is Steffi's been able to really drive and get into the open. He always can do that, but not as much he's been able to do tonight. That gives him the opportunity to drive and dish, and that's given a lot of those open threes.
Yeah, it seems like Ridgemont is really focused as Minster fights for the offensive rebound, and that's going to go out of bounds off of Fortman. But Minster's, taking what they're given on the outside. Ridgemont really wants to collapse down in the key, and that enables Steffi to pull it down, kick out. And there you saw it work to perfection. Great ball movement. Bing, bang, boom. Nice score there. Colton Whitaker off the window, and it's a 20-point deficit now for the Golden Gophers.
It's a 16-point deficit at halftime, so Coach McClurg, graduate of Versailles High School and living in Minster now, he's got to be happy with his team tonight.
Well, this is his 6th year. The first 5 years have been winning records, so you got to feel good about that. He's really done well here in the program as a long ball by Fortman off. A little scramble for the rebound. Down with it is Ruppert. And an air ball. So Ruppert not shooting particularly well. He's got 3. averages 11.
Yeah.
And Minster, again, one of their keys was to defend the top players very closely, very well, and they have done just that.
They've done a nice job. I always said this year when people ask how Minster is like, okay, they're 5-17. It's not a good record as they turn it over.
Yeah, they're athletic, though.
But they have played a lot of tough games.
And a pretty hard foul there as Gamble goes up, hits the deck, and he's going to shoot 2. Did not make the drive.
Of their 17 losses, 9 of them were less than 10 points. 4 of them were under 5 points. So they've lost a lot of tough games. They've only had a few blowouts. They compete hard. You know, just a little young team.
Yep.
Upperclassmen, not a lot of numbers. They knew it was going to be a little bit of a rebuilding year, but they're going to give it all they got every game.
Well, and like we were saying earlier, that just sets them up nicely as Steffi and Niemeyer age. You know, all these minutes as freshmen at the varsity level, because you're playing with the big boys here in the MAC. That will bear very good fruit, and to have, you know, that many games, you know, margin of loss only 4 or 5 points, that bodes well. As Webker gets around Newland.
I say Minster plays hard every game. You can say that probably about every MAC team. Every year, every sport, every
hard and physical.
Yep.
They're not going to give you, as Webker just left alone. Very fortunate for Ridgemont as we get down to 2 seconds. A long ball off the front of the iron, no good as Reppert misses. And after 3, the Minster Wildcats with a 20-point lead, 52-32. And we're going to come back for the final stanza. It's boys Division IV sectional basketball here on NKTelco Sports.
Lift your career to new heights with Crown, an innovative global leader in the material handling industry with over a 75-year history of growth and success. We're seeking career-minded candidates for a wide variety of entry-level and skilled positions in our new Bremen, New Knoxville, Salina, Minster, and other U.S. locations. Visit crown.jobs to apply or find us on social media by searching Careers at Crown.
Welcome back to the Palace in Coldwater. I want to thank a bunch of really important sponsors. You see some of them there on those commercials. 5-star recruitment sponsor, Crown Equipment Corporation. Our MVP sponsors, Clopay and Nedick Minster. Sponsoring our scoreboard tonight, First National Bank. Always providing keys to the game, Chunky Bob and his friends at Keyhole Pizza. Replays always brought to you by Winners Quality Meats. Had some great ones tonight. Starting lineups always provided by Sydney Allglaze Audiology. Our timeout sponsor all season long, Precision Strip. Stats and Recap brought to you at the half and at the end of the game from Wagner's IGA. The Live View tournament sponsor this year, the Center for Orthopedics at Wilson Health. And then when we get to the end of this thing, we're going to have to choose an NKTelco player of the game. And again, brought to you by NKTelco. So let me set the table. Minster by 20, 52-32 on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. They have the ball, and we are in the final period. So look for more patient offense, and you're going to see Ridgemont gambling a lot more on defense because they have got to get turnovers and get some offense going.
Yeah, Minster 4 of 6 on their threes as they're up to 13 threes on the night. They were 5 of 9 from the field. Ridgemont, when they needed it, they did not hit their shots very well.
And that
four of 13 in this quarter. 0 of 4 on their threes.
That's the 5th foul on Wes McKinley. That's like the 3rd time he's come from behind on Nixon to try and tip the ball away and run into him. He just hasn't had that, you know, where you slide up beside a guy. They'll let you get away with an arm on the guy's back if you don't body him. But McKinley's gone through Nixon, and it's cost him, and he is done for the night. So Whitaker will come in.
And this veteran officiating crew, they're not going to let that slide.
No, you came right through Nixon. That's a good call. Little drive right there by Niemeyer. Kicks back out to Nixon, and they'll reset the offense. So Minster has burned a minute of the 4th quarter, and now Nixon works open, and Whitaker, not that it matters, but Whitaker's going to pick up number 2, number 8 team foul, and Nixon will go to the line. Oh, I think that's 17 fouls. My apologies.
Nixon 3 points on his return, but he's done a lot of rebounds, a lot of strength in the middle.
And he draws the defense in, and again, that's been a big part of how Minster's been successful, is it's left the 3-point line pretty well free for the picking, and they have picked. Ruppert drives it baseline, now to Stuck, back up to Newland. Speaking of Newland, he's got 13, averages 24.5, so the defense done a nice job. As you see Wellman play some defense, and now they're going to take it the other way. Was that a 3-second call?
It's not a foul. It must have been a 3-second call. That's the 9th turnover.
And Newland called on a travel.
Talking about Newland, he had 12 points at halftime, only 1 point in the third quarter.
Well, that was one of Minster's keys, was to defend the scorers, and man, they have done just that. The combination of that, defending Newland and Ruppert, and then rain and threes.
Yeah, give credit to Austin Wellman defending, and also Peepery. Peepery's in defending.
Xavier Stuck runs right through Wellman.
Wellman will go to the line.
Wellman with 10.
10.
Great
Only
night.
Averages 2.1 on the season. This is his first night in double figures all season long for the.
I think he has 3 threes.
Yes, he does. So good to see the seniors. He's done the dirty work all year long. He's always defended who's ever the top scorer. Doesn't matter what size they are. He's a pretty physical guy, an athletic kid.
That's huge.
He's just worked himself.
Well, he's a fullback on the football team, and in the MAC, that means physical, strong, and speed as shooters roll, and he's got a dozen.
And he just worked himself into the starting lineup. He worked himself to honorable mention on All-MAC for a kid who didn't play.
That's pretty amazing.
And that's a turnover for a kid who played very little last year on varsity.
Well, and to do it against the league's best. If he's playing defense against, and there's a precision strip timeout, we'll hang out right here, even though it's full timeout. Ridgemont burned that one. But to get all MAC honorable mention against the other team's top scorer, that's doing something.
And the other team's coaches vote on it. So I'm sure they notice. The thing is, you say, the team's only seen the other team once. Oh, no. They watch film. I'll guarantee they watch film about every game of their opponents played.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a measure of respect when they give Austin Wellman an honorable mention. They know what kind of defense he plays. Yep. They realize they know who's going to be defending their top scorer. Yep. Going into it, there's like, Wellman kid, he's not tall. He's not real quick, but he's going to be right on the defender, and that's what he's done all year. And tonight he's had 12.
How many rebounds? Well, we don't keep him by player, but he's had a handful of boards, too.
Yeah, he's just a strong all-around senior season. Only one of 3 seniors on this team.
All right, so we're going to come out of that precision strip timeout with 6:20 to go on the First National Bank scoreboard. And Minster with a big lead here, 23 points, 55-32.
When you get a 23-point lead, some people we can run the clock and everything like that. The way Minster's playing tonight, I don't think I would do that. And
keep the tempo going. Maybe.
Yeah, they've been going good. The offense is flowing. Don't get out of rhythm. Just keep it going. This is unusual. This is by far one of their higher scoring games.
Well, and they're going to have a big test. They're going to see MAC champ Marion Local. If the score holds here, Nixon now is going to shoot 1-1 as the 9th team foul is committed by Newland, his 2nd personal.
A team that, as Nixon has the 1-1 as he hits the first. They played Marion back on January 21st. Only lost to him by 8. They got within about 5 late in that game, and Marion just pulled away.
It was a tangled mess atop the MAC. You had Marion, New Bremen, and Versailles. As you see, Fortman blocked the first shot, but a great rebound there. And Underwood hangs a bucket there, so he's got 8. As I was saying, New Bremen beat Versailles, which was #1 in Division III, undefeated at the time.
In overtime.
Marion beats New Bremen in overtime.
Yep.
And then Versailles ends up beating Marion.
Which is a pretty close game to the very end, from what I understand.
So the top 3 teams all beat one another, so each one has 1 loss.
And I think
that Minster plays Marion to 8. So.
And I think of those 3 teams, I think New Bremen was expected to be good. Versailles was expected to be good. Marion was a little bit under the radar.
I'd say.
They did going into it, obviously not anymore as they under the radar. Everybody sees how good, but they only had 2 starters coming back. And everybody thought they'd be decent, and there's Austin Wellman hits the 4 3-pointer.
And he leads the Wildcats in scoring, 15 points. 4 threes, some key free throws as we take Reppart down the lane. And number 22 is going to pick up a foul, and that is James Niemeyer. That is his 4th. That is Minster's 8th. So either way, we're going to be shooting free throws. But yeah, so Austin Wellman with 15.
Team record 16, so we'll keep that out and see if we'll see that tonight.
Where are we at now? 15 threes?
We're
14?
at 14.
14 threes. And Ridgemont now going to put the press on. This is the second possession, I believe, that Minster's had to work the press. They get it over. Webker, now Wellman. And now we're into our offense. Steffi off the double team hits Wellman. Boy, they had Peepery wide open in the paint, but didn't see him. Now we're going to play a little keep away.
Well, Wellman thought about the trigger. Nice pass.
Boy, Peepery does such a good job of sneaking in there and getting open, and Wellman saw that all the way.
That was a great bounce pass through some defenders there.
Great play. So Minster kind of showing off a little bit as Reppert takes a tough 3. No good. Brogan Steffi down with it.
Ridgemont has not hit a 3 in the second half.
And it's, you know, you say, well, they haven't shot well, but Minster has contested most of those.
Yep.
They have not had a lot of open looks, and that's a credit to the Minster defense doing what they said they were going to do. And a big skip pass from Newland. And Gamble off the iron. Now there's a clean look, and it goes Clanker off the iron.
Yeah. In this Ridgemont team, you know, you lose a player like Mason Stuck, who 16 points per game, you lose him.
Well, and the chemistry and the leadership, he's a senior. That's the other thing. I think we're seeing a little bit of the combo that you get with Newland, Reppert, and Stuck is gone.
Right. You can't just double on Newland like Minster's done about all night. He would have kicked it to Stuck, and you just don't know how it would have played. But Minster putting up 63. I got to check. That's probably one of their higher
Didn't
scoring
count on
games.
that. Yeah, that was something that maybe we didn't count on. Probably upper 40s.
When they make the first one, that is their season high. They had 62 against Houston way back when, in December, but 63 is a season high for Minster.
That is Lane Underwood. That's 9 for Underwood off the back of the iron. And Minster's going to pull that down and secure it. So 3:54 to go, up by 28. And now the fouling is going to begin as Reppert commits his 4th personal. And that's going to send, is that Fortman or Webker?
Webker.
Yeah, it's going to send Devin Webker to the line. Great football player, plays on the D-line on the varsity football team. Missed a bunch of the season getting started, but excellent athlete. And Coach McClurg has another year of that to look forward to. So.
Yeah, Webker, just his 6th game of the season, double figures, averaging 6.5 on the season. Shoots over 60% on his.
So I'd be curious how many guys went over their average tonight in scoring for Minster.
Here, I'll take a look, and I can tell you when we get another dead ball as we get a turnover for turnover.
Reppert comes up short, not shooting well tonight. And this is Whitaker now over to Underwood. Here's Newland, works off the screen. Nice job picking him up there is Peepery, and he's going to get flagged.
Talked about who went over their season average. Fortman averages 3. He's had 7. Wellman averages 2.
Oh, it's a charge.
Oh, a charge. But Wellman averages 2. He's got 15 tonight. Peepery at 3 has 2, so he's under. Steffi, he's right at his average, a little bit above at 13. Webker's over his average. He's got 12, averages 6.5. Nixon's below his average. Niemeyer's above his average. So 1, 2.
And Nemo's got 4 fouls.
About 5 over their average tonight.
Yeah, just not Ridgemont's night, thanks in large part to the Minster defense. And then those threes as Newland launches one, and it's kind of desperation time. You're down 28, 3:05 to go. I mean, I feel comfortable saying Minster's going to probably close this out.
Yeah, there's 6.
See Coach Gottemiller's Flyers Friday night.
Coach Guttemiller teaches in the Minster school system, a longtime JV coach under Mike Lee, who was named the BBC Coach of the Year.
Yes, congratulations to Coach Lee.
Very class guy.
He won a conference title in 2 conferences simultaneously up there with Pandora Gilboa, right?
Yeah, they're in the PCL in the BBC. It was a very unusual circumstance. And congratulations. I think it's his 3rd year now as head coach of Pandora Gilboa. as Papari drives. He coached, I think, 23 years at Minster.
Oof.
And then took a year off. He retired from his principal job at Minster High School. Took a year off, wanted to move up to Findlay closer to his parents. He was an assistant a couple years. And then
what a nice get for Pandora Gilboa.
Yeah.
To pick him up as a coach, because that's, he's going to set that program up.
And I don't know the circumstances, but that job opened up like in the summer, which is very late. So it's hard to get a good. And Coach Lee, I think I talked to him. He filled in for whoever is the head coach. I think it was Tyler Niekamp up at Van Buren. Filled in because there was some type of illness or something, and said he kind of got the hunger being back in the head coach, and this opened up as a great opportunity.
Coach's coach, as you see Newland there with another contested shot. Nothing has been easy, and he's still hung 13. I mean, that's a nice night at the office. Just barely over half his average, though. So credit the Wildcats.
So they get to match up. They snap a 5-game losing streak. They've lost 7 of their last 8, so a big win for Minster. And they got nothing to lose against their rival, Marion Local. That's not going to be a game for the timid, for sure. It's going to be a physical.
Boy, yeah, Marion Local brings the meat to the table, man. They are very physical, very quick. It's going to be a good ball game.
Coach McClure taking out a few of the players, and also Ridgemont. Their seniors, Reppert leaving, also Newland. They both had great careers, taking out their seniors. 5 seniors in the program, and they've played a lot of basketball together. It's a bittersweet night.
Yeah, for the Ridgemont seniors. Into the game now is number 22, Christian Mccleese, 5'10" junior.
And there's Dylan Watercutter bringing
12,
up the ball.
Ashton Draper, number 12. And then, Watercutter, number 5. Is that right?
No, it's number 32.
Jeez, I'm looking at the wrong roster. My goodness. I'll just let you take over. I'm going to sit over here and figure out what room
Andy
I'm in.
Peppelman with the basketball there. Watercutter. A lot of juniors in this lineup right now. A couple freshmen. Connor Schmees into the game and Ian Holman. Papare pass to Holman and in.
You love to see the unselfishness of the ball handlers for Minster, and we've seen it all up and down the lineup. They take it down in there, and they could have taken a shot there, and Wellman's done that a couple times. And they give it to the more open guy, as you see a nice 3 there from the freshman Xavier Stuck.
He showed the Ridgemont seniors leaving to the bench. That's the bittersweet part of the tournament run. Every year, every game, there's a senior playing their last night. And it's not just the seniors, it's also their parents have watched them through the years. And I've been gone through that a few times, and you never want to see it end. And
yep, such a fun ride. Ridgemont's going to throw number 3, Connor Manns, freshman, into the game. Stuck will come out.
Cole Richmond in the game, another freshman on the floor for Minster. A very sweet shooting freshman. Cole Richards.
Minster's got a nice pipeline coming. Going to be very solid next year and going forward.
Before that last possession, Xavier Stuck hit a 3. That was their first 3 in the second half.
That's something. Man, that is something. Also on the floor for Ridgemont, number 12, Donovan Brose. Number 22, Kevin Eckstein.
I thought going into this game, I thought Minster had a definite chance in this, and what Coach McClure felt like it could be a close game, but I don't think he expected, and I definitely didn't expect a 27-point.
Sure didn't.
At this point in the game.
Yep, and we are under a minute, deep in the corner. Great closeout rebound there for the Wildcats, and they're going to come the other way. 66-39 now, Minster all over this. They're going to probably just hold at this point. With it, number 32, that's Dylan Watercutter, as you mentioned earlier. And that's going to do it here, Dave, as we tick the thing down. Watercutter will pick it up, and we got nothing but handshakes left in this one as the Minster Wildcats victorious. Big win tonight over the Ridgemont Golden Gophers without one of their star players, but I don't know if that would have made a big difference, man. It's a big margin, 27 points. So the Minster Wildcats, 66. The Ridgemont Golden Gophers, 39. We'll go ahead and keep it here while our stat master keeps chalking it up. No, you know what? We will go ahead and take a break. So We'll be back after this break with the Wagner's IGA Stats and Recap. One more time, Minster 66, Ridgemont 39, here on NKTelco Sports.
Clopay Corporation, America's favorite garage door, is now hiring for all manufacturing and over-the-road Class A CDL driving positions. Clopay is the largest residential garage door manufacturer in North America, and we are continuing to grow. Join our team and work in a safe, clean, modern environment. Clopay offers a great benefits package as an equal opportunity employer and a drug-free work environment. Imagine the possibilities when you open the door to your career at clopay.com/careers.
Are you looking for a new career with amazing growth potential? Nidec Press and Automation is hiring for many positions right now. Nidec is a global company that is growing with its sights on being a billion-dollar company. Machinists, service technicians, human resource personnel, IT specialists, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, and many more. The opportunities abound at Nidec Press and Automation. Go to minsterjobs.com now to get started on your new career with Nidec.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
Wagner's IGA have been servicing their communities for more than 90 years, spanning 3 generations. Wagner's founded their business on 2 basic principles: excellent customer service and quality products. Visit all our locations and experience the finest selection of deli, fresh meats, and a variety of beverage choices. While there, don't forget to check out our vast selection of fresh coffee beans, produce, dairy, and bakery items. Visit Wagner's today in Minster, Fort Laramie, and New Bremen.
Thank you for your patience as we construct a new fiber broadband service in your area. We know that along with this process comes disruption in the easements and right-of-way areas, and we are restoring most areas as we complete them. A few areas will have some utility work installed, so we need to wait for the work to be completed before the lawns can be repaired. We're very close to having the fiber or coax drops cleaned up and replaced with fiber optic drops. Hang in there just a little longer, and we'll have a majority of the new fiber system installed.
Lift your career to new heights with Crown, an innovative global leader in the material handling industry with over a 75-year history of growth and success. We're seeking career-minded candidates for a wide variety of entry-level and skilled positions in our new Bremen, New Knoxville, Salina, Minster, and other U.S. locations. Visit crown.jobs to apply or find us on social media by searching Careers at Crown.
Welcome back to the Palace at Coldwater High School. Things winding down as the late show is over. And as you see on our graphic there, the First National Bank first scoreboard, the Minster Wildcats victorious as the MAC rolls on 66-39. Let's hear the Wagner's IGA Stats and Recap from Mr. Dave Connect.
Thanks, Scott. Looking at the numbers, great shooting night for the Wildcats. 20 of 32 from the field goal, which is always good, but 14 of 28 on their threes. Awesome three-point shooting, by far their highest output on threes of the season. Ridgemont, not a good shooting night, 15 of 44. They were 5 of 18 on their three-pointers. Field goals, Minster got to the line a lot more, 12 of 21 compared to 4 of 9 for Ridgemont. Rebounding and edge to the Wildcats, 21-17, and they also better at the turnovers, 10-7 in favor of the Wildcats. Look at individual scoring. For the Golden Gophers, Landon Newland ended with 13 points. He only had 1 point in the second half, but concludes a great career where he ends up the all-time leading scorer in school history at Ridgemont with over 1,900 points. Lane Underwood with 9 points. Grant Reppard averages 11 points. He only had 3. Xavier Stuck with 3. Colton Whitaker and Wade Gamble with 4. Weston McKinley with 2. For the Minster Wildcats, they had 8 different players score. 6 of them were above their average, season average for that. Yeah. Led by Austin Wellman with 15 points. Brogan Steffi, he had a big first half with 12. He ended it with 13. Zach Fortman with 8 points off the bench. James Niemeyer with a good 8 points. Noah Peepery with 4. Johnny Nixon with 4. Ian Holm with a late basket with 2. So the Wildcats go to 6-17 on the season. Ridgemont, they go to 14-9 as 5 seniors had a great career at Ridgemont play their last basketball game. But a great night for the Wildcats. Great shooting night. Really hit the threes all night. And
you see Brogan Steffi draining one.
Yeah, Coach McClurg has to be happy, and they'll be the underdog playing their rival just down 119 in the Marion Local Flyers.
That's right. Yeah, the Flyers victorious earlier. They beat New Knoxville. Marion Local comes in tomorrow or Friday night at 7:30. They'll be the late game. They're the number 4 seed, so it'll be 10 Minster versus 4 Marion Local in the late game. The early tip-off, 5:30 p.m. The New Bremen Cardinals with the first round break there. They're the top seed. They're going to take on St. Henry. The Redskins took down Ada. St. Henry's an 8, so it'll be 1 versus 8 in the early game, and then 4 and 10 in the late game.
Good MAC doubleheader here at the Palace. If you can't be here, we'll be covering that here on NKTelco Sports. You can stream it and watch it from the confines of your friendly living room.
Like to, like to thank Mr. Eric Goodwin, the athletic director over here at Coldwater. As always, puts on a great tournament. Always love to come to Coldwater and do basketball. They got a great facility, nice spot up here, up high to sit and see well and do our thing. So thanks to Eric Goodwin and his team. And we are going to handle the last piece of business, our NKTelco player of the game. Dave, who we got?
Austin Wellman, the senior, with a career-high 15 points. All season long, he's been the defensive stopper, and he did a nice job stopping. Landon Newland held him to almost half of his average, but had a big 15 points. Congratulations to Austin Wellman, our player of the game, sponsored by NKTelco.
All right, so once again, our final score here in Coldwater, Minster 66 and Ridgemont 39. For our director, Scott Robinson, our assistant director, Bryce Hamrick, for our camera crew, Kurt Kuffner, Aaron Ritter, that's AA Ron Ritter, Craig Louth, and for Dave Kanapke, I'm Scott Fry. Thank you once again for joining us, and we'll see you Friday night with more Division IV sectional basketball here on NKTelco Sports.